everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you've never been here before, and on this channel I upload whatever I want. That could be bookish stuff like you're gonna see in this video, but I'm also a substitute teacher, so I vlog my experience with substitute teaching as well. So you might see some sub vlogs, but also I just vlog whatever I want. So I have a trip coming up that I might vlog. I kind of want to do some reading challenges. I'm also working. So if any of that stuff interests you, then I would really appreciate if you stuck along with me and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into our doing book stuff video today. In these videos, I do them like monthly. It's our first like fall edition one. I don't know what we're gonna do exactly in this video yet. I have my little notebook that I use for YouTube stuff, and I think I'm just gonna make a list to kind of keep me on track. The last doing book stuff video that I did library returns and pickups, which I am gonna need to do soon, so I'm gonna write that down as well. I for sure have a book that I think I can return in this video. I still need to read it, but I'm currently reading it. So there's a book that I'm thinking about picking up from my local library, but I'm also debating on if I should buy it kind of as a souvenir type thing. My mom and I are going to San Antonio, and I kind of want to read a book while I'm there that's based in San Antonio, and I found one called West Side Love Story. I'll pop it up on the screen. I think that's the title of it. I don't know the author's name. Should I guess? I think it's Priscilla Oliveras. If that's wrong, I'm so sorry. It was a guess. Okay, it was a guess. This book is based in San Antonio, and also it's about two like rival mariachi families, and that sounds so cool. Like, I think it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling as well. It just sounds good to me, but I want to read a book based in San Antonio, and so I was looking on my local library's website in their catalog, and I searched by setting, and I found this book. My local library does have it. I think I'm going to check out the physical book and take it with me to San Antonio and read this as one of my options. I'm of course going to bring my Kindle. We'll see what we have on the Kindle at the time that we go on the trip, but it's coming up soon. I have not been reading as much as I should and I want to have certain books done by the time that I go. So I have 2.5 weeks until I go, so I'm gonna need to kick it into high gear with the reading. So library returns is definitely something I want to do, possibly picking up. I'm just gonna write down audiobook activities. There's a lot of activities that I can do while listening to an audiobook. I don't have an audiobook in mind right now, or really any audiobooks available on my Libby. I guess I could look at Spotify and actually use my Spotify hours that I am paying for. Examples of audiobook activities could be doing my nails, which I'm probably not gonna do in this doing book stuff video because I just did them in my fall reset vlog. If you haven't seen that, I will link it up here. But sometimes I clean, sometimes I color, play on my Switch. So there's a lot of different audiobook activities that I could do. Oh, I definitely need to update my reading calendar and my reading journal. So you will see that in this video as well. And then also in my August doing book stuff, I debuted my series tracker. If you want any of the details on what exactly the series tracker is, how it's used, I went into depth in my last doing book stuff video. I got the tracker from Maisie May. If you watch that video, it's linked in that description. And yeah, go check out my August doing book stuff. I will link it up here to make it easier for the series tracker specifically. Actually, that'll probably be the first thing we do in this video. Is there anything else we need to do? We'll see. There might be other stuff that we do along the way. I wanted to start this today because there's a lot of doing book stuff, bookish activities, things that I want to do before I leave, and I need to leave for work in about an hour. So let's start actually with my series tracker, since I'm sitting here and since I have my laptop right in front of me. All right, I think I'm recording. I hope I'm recording. Also, if you hear the squeaky chair, I apologize. It is my office chair. It's super squeaky. It's really bad. And I'm not recording with an external microphone, so sorry about that. All right, here is my series tracker. Like I said, I got this from Maisie May. Yeah, this is her tracker. I didn't really change much. I still need to kind of go in and like fix some things, I guess. The last time I talked to you guys, this is literally exactly what's on here. There's not going to be really much at all to update. There's one thing I can update, I think. So I think in the last doing book stuff video where I showed you this tracker for the first time, I talked about how my progress being 10% is kind of embarrassing, but to make a goal for myself, I think I want to get to 15%. I think that's what I said. I hope that's correct. So let's see what the percentage, my progress percentage will change to, updating the one series that I completed. So the naturals, I have still the novella left. Technically I'm done with the series, but I'm counting the novella as part of the series. The inheritance games I haven't started yet, but I might be starting that very, very soon. It is in my fall TBR, but also for a certain specific reason that I'm kind of hinting to, it is the next book that I'm going to read. So that one will be starting. There is 5 books though, so Hunger Games is obviously complete as of now. Can I click this? I can. I don't know if that really does anything other than just kind of line it out. Delirium, Maple Hills, a lot of these books I really don't have plans on reading for a while, except for the Empyrean series. I do need to read Onyx Storm very, very soon. I still haven't read it, you guys, and I want to so bad. Like, the desire is there. Onyx Storm is a book that I really only want to read. Like, I don't have to read it. Not that I have to read any book, but a lot of the books that I like am reading are for Buzzword Reading Challenge. They're for my friend Anna's book club. They are for my Tackling the TBR series. And so it's rare that I actually read a book just out of my own free will. But the Fourth Wing series is a different case. And so I'm really, really wanting to read Onyx Storm very, very soon. Just because I want to. Especially after the way that Iron Flame ended. Like, I just need to. But I know I'm probably sounding so annoying saying that I'm gonna read Onyx Storm, because like, girl, when? Like, you keep saying you are for months now. So it's actually probably been like 2 months that I've been saying that, but all of these, a lot of these are actually part of my Tackling the TBR series. Harry Potter, have I read the 4th book? I don't think so. I think the last book I finished was the 3rd one. Every Summer After, this is the one. It is a duology. I just finished it. So we can mark this as complete, and I've now read 2 books, 0 books left, and I can check this off. And we are now at 13%. So does that mean if I finish another series, especially if it's a duology, I should do that soon. I should pick one that's a duology, like the Bellinger Sisters, Firefly Lane. I should pick one that is a duology and it's complete. I probably shouldn't pick an ongoing one. Maybe that will make this 15%. I don't know how the math works, but I have 40 total series on here. Oh, one thing I added was Throne of Glass. You guys, look what my mom bought me. And because she bought this, I think she decided on the reading order for me. I think I'm gonna start with Assassin's Blade. Also, tell me why she texted me and said, by the way, I bought a copy for myself as well, so we can buddy read it. She didn't say buddy read. I don't think she knows what that means. She's not in the like book world. She is a reader, but she doesn't give herself time to read, basically. I'm kind of sad. But she said, so I can read it at the same time as you. And I was like, a buddy read of Throne of Glass with my mom? I don't know if she's gonna like it, but her coworker at work is a reader, and my mom talked to her coworker about how I'm a reader, and her coworker said she needs to read Throne of Glass and she needs to start with the Assassin's Blade. So then my mom texted me and said, have you read Throne of Glass? And I said, or she said, have you read this? And I think it was a screenshot of this. And I said, no, but I've heard a lot of things. Because I was trying to keep it on the DL, you know, like, I've heard a lot of things. I haven't read it. That's true, right? She goes, it's been ordered. When am I reading this? And yes, you don't even have to ask. I will vlog it. I will do a reading vlog on this. Which, that's why I want to get to Onyx Storm too, because I'm going to do a reading vlog on Onyx Storm. You guys, it's like, it's too much. It's too much. I have too many highly anticipated reads that I'm probably not going to get to because they're not in my Tackling TBR cart. Like, this is just my physical TBR that's not part of the Tackling TBR. So it's nuts. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's finish this series segment. So anyways, yeah, Throne of Glass is on here. 8 books is crazy. 8 books is crazy. We'll talk about Throne of Glass in a second. Okay, so yeah, 40 total series. I've read 4 completed series. Like, the author is no longer continuing them. I've read 4 total series. And I'm up to date on 1. So I have 35 books, no, 35 series to finish. I wonder how many books this is. I'm not calculating that. I'm not gonna calculate that. That's too much. Wait, which ones are completed then? Complete, then I can cross these off too. Complete, complete. There we go. Maybe by the next time I see you, we will have more update on this progress percentage. Like I said, I only want to get to 15% read by the end of the year, so. Because I barely made this in August, like, you gotta have some grace, right? So anyways, I need to make like a continuing series I'm in the middle of video soon, because we need to tackle this for sure. All right, I just sat down and printed off every single title / series that is in my Tackling the TBR Jellycat bag. If you don't know, on my channel I do a Tackling the TBR series. It's my version of Bookshelf Ultimatum, Read It or Unhaul It, etc. I've been doing it since July 2024, and my goal was to get it done by December. I'm slowly starting to realize I'm not reading enough off of my Tackling the TBR series to believe that that's really possible anymore. So I had a document on my laptop, and it had all of the titles that I had listed as many times as it's been publication years, because if you don't know, the way that I'm doing my Tackling TBR series is I have a bag full of slips, and there were 459 slips to start with. I have no idea how many there are currently. I started with 51 books, and they were all entered into the bag as many times as it has been publication years. So for example, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is entered in there 7 times. It's still in there. I haven't pulled it yet. So there's 7 slips in there, but there are some books that I have gotten to. For example, The Pearl by John Steinbeck was entered 32 times. So the odds of me pulling that one were pretty high, but it's kind of crazy because I pulled 24 Hours in Italy by Romy Mundi. Maybe I didn't pull it. Maybe I just said I was going to read that for a prompt. The Inheritance Games I just pulled, and it only had 4 slips in there in comparison to some of these books like Sense and Sensibility having 28 prompts. So anyways, I went in and I deleted all of the like duplicates. So I didn't need to have Bridgerton, 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 Bridgerton 24 times. I just left the first one. There were 40 different prompts in there, but obviously they were all entered as many times. And I'm gonna go to my shelves and I'm going to remove any book that is on my shelf, like my main bookshelf. And if it's not a part of the series, I'm gonna remove it and come put it on my cart, because I'm running out of space on my shelves. And I only want books that I have read on those shelves, except for the ones that are in the TBR cart, not the cart, the TBR Jellycat bag. I wanna keep those and my TBR cart books separate, because this cart is only books that I have acquired after I started my Tackling the TBR series, if that makes sense. I'm gonna take this list over there, and I think there's some books over there that are not supposed to be there. I'm gonna remove them and come and put them on this cart, because I'm starting to accumulate stacks of books on my shelf because I'm finishing them and there's nowhere for them to go. So I even have some books that I've removed after getting ready to unhaul them from doing my Tackling the TBR series, and they're just sitting here. So like, there needs to be room. So I'm gonna make sure that there's as much room as possible, and if there's no more room to be made, that means I need new shelves, right? Someone tell my husband that. We're here at my shelves. This is the only bookshelf that I own. Kind of crazy, but I feel like we're only gonna go up from here, okay? I have my list. I think a lot of these need to stay. I know, wait, this one isn't on here. Okay, this one for sure. I think that was the only one. I think that was the only one. So is there a way for me to rearrange this and possibly get them all on one shelf? Do you think I can get these on this top shelf, you guys? Let's see. I'm gonna remove all my little trinkets. This isn't a trinket. This is an actual book in my Tackling the TBR series. I probably won't read it in this format, but my mom bought this for me. I probably won't read it in that format, but I will read that book. It is in my series. It's in the Jellycat bag, I promise. Who knew we were gonna do a little bookshelf reorganization in this video? Shelves, these two are all the books that I have read, and then down here it's like miscellaneous books, and all of these are based off of last name. Look at all my Carly Fortune books together. They look so cute. Hold on, let's get a good look. They look so cute. I just finished One Golden Summer yesterday. Obsessed, 5 stars. I love Charlie Flork. And now I might be able to have Worth and Iron Flame together. They can fit, actually. I forgot about her. She fell. And then once I finish Onyx Storm, I can go there. Okay, as I accumulate more books, maybe this can go here, kind of hold the space. Can I finish a sentence? As I accumulate more books, I'm gonna need to do a little bit more switching around because I think I'm gonna own more Ashley Posted. I wanna get the new Rainbow Rowell book. All my books that are on my TBR cart, as soon as I finish those, they're gonna be added soon as well. My Emily Henrys are going to be put together as soon as I finish them. So this is looking not too bad though. I just need to add all my little trinkets back. I only removed one book, but why did that one book actually do wonders? Now every book on the top shelf is my Tackling the TBR. It doesn't go to 2 shelves anymore. That's very exciting for me personally. All right, this angle is very weird, but I want you guys to be able to see my TBR cart. Do I need to come like way out here? Jeez. This is my TBR cart. I'm only using 2 shelves of it right now, but there is a bottom shelf that has like perler bead stuff on it. But these are all the books that I physically own that are not a part of the Tackling TBR series. So I'm gonna add Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid to the cart because it is not a part of the series. So it needs to get off my shelves. Okay, let's talk about this. But I also recently acquired this book from my friend Anna. This is Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. This is a part of that Meant to Be series, interconnected standalone series that is being published by Hyperion Avenue, which is one of Disney's publishers. And as you can see, it is based off of Tangled. It's like a Tangled retelling, I think. I literally have no idea what this is about. Should I read it with you guys? Let's see. She has a dream, he has a plan. Together they'll take a leap of faith. Ren has never held an iPhone, Googled the answer to a question, or followed a crush on social media. What she has done, read a book or 2 or 3, okay, hundreds, taught herself to paint and built a working wind power system from scratch. But for all the books she's read, Ren has never found one that can teach a woman raised on a homestead and off the grid for most of her 22 years how to live in the real world. So when she achieves her lifelong dream of attending Corona College, it feels like her life is finally beginning. Fitz has the rest of his life mapped out. Graduate from Corona at the top of his class, get his criminal record wiped clean, and pass himself off as the rich, handsome player everyone thinks he is. He's a few short months from checking off step 1 of his plans when Wren Gilden, with her cascading blonde hair and encyclopedic brain, crashes into his life, and for the first time Fitz's plan is in jeopardy. But a simple assignment in their immunology seminar changes the course of both their lives, and suddenly they're thrown out of the frying pan and into the fire on a road trip that will lead them in the most unexpected directions. When they're out on the open road, the world somehow shifts, and the unlikely pair realize that maybe the key to the dreams they've both been chasing has been sitting next to them the whole time. New York Times bestselling author duo Christina Lauren dream up a witty and deeply romantic modern reimagining of The Princess and the Tower for anyone who has ever longed to let their hair down. That is so cute. I will say, Anna read this recently and she finished it and then brought it to me at book club, and then she was like, I don't need it back. And I think she rated it 3 stars. I don't think she loved it, but we both share a love for Tangled. Tangled is probably my favorite Disney princess movie ever. It is my favorite Disney princess movie ever, but it's probably one of my, like, it's in top 5 for sure favorite Disney films. I love Tangled. It's a comfort movie for me. I will watch it over and over and over again. So just reading the synopsis on this, it's really just giving me all the Tangled feels. Like, there's so many references just in the blurb. So I'm excited to read this. This is getting added to the TBR. And then, as you guys saw and I talked about when I was doing like my series tracker, I'm gonna start the Assassin's Blade at some point. I'm gonna start the Throne of Glass series at some point. I just don't know when, but I will be vlogging this experience. 8 books is insane though. I'm gonna start Throne of Glass at some point and I'm scared. But this is getting added to the cart. This is my TBR cart and it adds so much color to our office. And I love like a clean aesthetic, like light colors, neutrals if you will. But I love just like a pop of color, and my TBR cart just gives that. So like, let me just show you this little corner where I store like the books I'm gonna unhaul. I have some like coloring book stuff, my reading journal stuff, my reading calendar, my musical instruments, and then my TBR cart. Like, this corner is just so cute. Let me show you. Like, are you kidding me? I think it's so cute. I love all the color. It is very pink with a lot of this going on, but it's so cute. Hello guys, it's been a couple days since I've done bookish things, but I am sitting here having a bookish day. I'm having more of a productive day, but I'm trying to get bookish things done as well, just because I haven't done my reading journal in probably about a month now, and I love doing it. So I really want to do that. But also, there is so much that I am trying to like organize. There's so much in my brain that I'm trying to put down on paper and like find time to do things. So I think I have my work schedule done. I picked up a couple jobs for this week and next week, and so I feel more organized on that front. But now I want to do more like personal things. I'm gonna get into my reading journal, but actually before I do my reading journal stuff, I am just going to write down all of the books that I want to read before I go on my trip. We have about 2 weeks until we leave, and I want to get done with the books that are in my mind by that time. So I'm gonna write down the ones that I absolutely need to get done, just for my personal sake. Like, I just really want to get them done. And then I will also write down things that, like, if I can get to them, that would be great before my trip. So I have my September TBR that I'm still trying to slowly get through, and I have my October TBR. Obviously it's not quite October, we still have 2 more days at the time that I'm filming this, but I just want to have it like in a place where I can very visibly see this, because obviously this is yellow sticky note. I'm gonna probably just keep it on my desk, or keep it with my laptop just as a visual reminder of I could be reading. Which on my phone I set time limits, and I'm really trying to get the screen time down. I think I'll be able to read so much more, and I want to read. Like, I want to read so much more than I currently am. So far, the past like 3 days, 3 or 4 days that I've had time limits on my phone, it has actually helped so much with me just not being on it. So I'm hoping that this upcoming week, which will be like the first full week of weekdays of me trying this, that it will help. I need to get my life back in order. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down all of the books that I want to be done with by the time I go on my trip. And I'm really hoping that I can get them done. So essentially I'm going to give myself 15 days. How many books can I get done in 15 days? Okay, I have 3 books on my list. In the next 15 days, I want to finish the Inheritance Games, which I started today. Get Lost with You, which is a library book that I need to finish and return. That would hopefully be at the top of my list, but it's a long story. I don't physically have it right now. It's in my car that my husband has. So I started the Inheritance Games today. Get Lost with You is the one that I just mentioned. It's from the library, so I really need to return it soon. I've already renewed my loan. It just needs to go. But it is part of my buzzword reading challenge, and so I'm trying to keep up with that. So in the next 15 days, I want to get those 2 done, and I want to hopefully get Onyx Storm started and done, which I want to vlog, so I really, really want to get that out of the way before my trip. Now, I'm going to do my reading calendar first. So I need to update for August, and September's almost over. I can almost start my October doing book stuff one because I haven't updated in a while. So this was August's cover for the reading calendar. And then here is all of the prompts that I'm going to fill out, and I will show you guys. And then after I finish my reading calendar, I'm going to start my reading journal, which I am definitely stalling on because there's just so much to do in there. So let's just get started. Okay guys, I am done with my reading journal portion of this video. So I'm going to do a quick little flip through of what she's looking like. Here's what she looks like from the edge. Honestly, not as many pages as I thought I would use, but I also haven't done like any single spread pages. So I'm going to have to do some of those. But opening to the first page that I updated. Well, actually, no. Here's my 25 and 2025 spread. I still have a lot of books that I need to read, and I don't think I updated any this go around. All of these books are in my Tackling the TBR series, so hopefully I'll get to them. Skipping ahead, my bookshelfie is full, and I just have been putting off making another page, so I definitely need to do that soon. I just don't want to. But as you can see on my physical TBR page, there is a blank space here that I would like to add my bookshelfie part 2 on because it is just the next page over. But this is a Dutch store page, so it flips open, and I did update this, and I think I'm still at like 51, which is how many I started when I did my Tackling TBR series, but oh well. These are all the books that I physically own and haven't read, except if they're crossed out, that means I've read them. I did update my Tackling the TBR. I just put in the next 2 books that I have read or I'm going to be reading, and I glued in the next thumbnail. I'm so excited to move on to this page, hopefully soon. But it also does stress me out seeing how many episodes are left. Series tracker, the first page, there isn't anything to update. My friend Anna's book club, I have updated with Ward D. We read this for our August book club pick. And then for September, we picked Regretting You. We're gonna be reading that and meeting in October. And then the way that things worked out, we weren't gonna have like a full month to be able to read and pick the next book. So we picked the book that we're gonna talk about in November already in September. So the next book we're gonna read is Regretting You, and then we're gonna watch the movie in October. And then when we meet in October, we're going to already know what book we're gonna read next, just because there's only gonna be about 3 months until we meet. And we're actually going on a little girls trip, so that's gonna be super exciting. But we're gonna read The Hunting Party for the following month. The next page I updated was my Buzzword Reading Challenge page. I am kind of behind on the prompts. I'm currently reading this book and I know which books I'm going to read all through November, but I just have been behind. For the cover challenges portion of the Buzzword Reading Challenge this year, I am caught up through September. So for September, I still need to read a book for that, obviously. Alphabet challenge, I think I added a couple titles. I'm really close. I need C, E, G, J, L, P. Okay, maybe I actually need a lot. I need a lot, actually. It looks like a lot less. I updated my books by format page. I added a couple library reads. I only read 2 books from my library in August, but I only read 4 books total, so. And then I did update my 5-star reads because I did rate One Golden Summer 5 stars. I did update my September tracker. This is the month that I misspelled September, so please ignore that. My reading log is up to date. I did haul some books, so these are the books that I have hauled and added in. And I did update my days I finished a book spread. And then I can show you, oh, I did a series tracker part 2, and as you can see, I did add the Throne of Glass series on here. I haven't started it, but I know I'm gonna read it, so I added it. And then jumping right in to July, I did this spread in the last Doing Book Stuff, but I glued in all of the pictures here. And then this is my August spread. It's not my favorite, it's actually probably my least favorite, but it is what it is. I could probably add more flowers, but my hand is hurting. So this is the spread. These are the books I read. This pie chart is very satisfying, but that's all the book stuff I'm gonna do for now and probably today. I'll catch up with you guys whenever I'm doing more book stuff. Hi guys. It has been a long day, but I am here to do more book stuff. I actually have book mail, so I'm super excited to unbox these and show you guys the 2 new books that I ordered. I had an Amazon gift card, which is why I ordered them from Amazon. I typically don't buy books off of Amazon. Not that I don't buy things off of Amazon ever, but I like to get my books secondhand for the most part, because why not? And I also do like to support independent bookstores, but I had an Amazon gift card, so I figured I would use it to buy books. So let's open the first one. This is West Side Love Story by Priscilla Oliveras. I'm super excited for this one because I bought it specifically to read while I'm in San Antonio coming up soon. I wanted like a physical copy, kind of like as a souvenir, even though I'm not getting it from San Antonio itself, but I was looking into books that were set in San Antonio and I came across this one. This is about 2 like rival mariachi families that I think live in San Antonio, and it's a obviously West Side Love Story. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling kind of, and so I'm really excited about this one. And then this one they sent in a box, so let me see, there might be a box cutter here somewhere. This one I've actually had for a couple days, but this one came in today, so I've been waiting to open this one. Here it is. This is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This is my friend Anna's book club pick, and we are gonna go and see the movie on October 24th on release day. So we're gonna read this one. And yeah, I honestly don't even know what it's about, but the last Colleen Hoover we read was Verity, and we all really loved it. So I'm excited to see what this one is about. I will probably be taking this one with me as well, just because that trip is coming up in less than 2 weeks. It's actually in about like a week and a half as I'm filming this, probably even less than that. So I will probably be bringing this one with me since there won't be much time before we go to book club. So hopefully these are both read at some point along the San Antonio trip. I have been reading so much the past few days, which I'll just get into that. My current read right now is Get Lost With You by Sophie Sullivan. I'm reading this for the Buzzword Reading Challenge, specifically for, I was gonna say Lost, no, it's for With, and this is August's title prompt, I think. I have about 20 pages left, so I am going to finish this like right now. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea and do that. I wanted to update you guys. I think I told you in this video, when I made this list, there was 15 days left until I went on my trip. Currently, I guess I can count how many days we have. We're at like 11 days, I think. I don't remember when I made this, so that's not good. But I'm almost done with Get Lost With You, and then I'm about a quarter of the way through Inheritance Games, and I'm hoping to finish that this weekend. So that way I will only have Onyx Storm left, and I'm hoping to start that and start a reading vlog for it probably, and then finish that before I go on my trip. I kind of wanted to have a book to read on my Kindle for my trip because like duh, like reading while traveling on your Kindle is so convenient, but I fear I might need to bring some physical books. I didn't really plan that very well, but yeah, I'm probably gonna be bringing these two and then whatever's on my Kindle. I know I won't really be bringing anything physical for the September title prompt for the Buzzword Reading Challenge. I'm supposed to read a book that has like an event in the title, and so I chose The Wedding People, which I do own physically. I can see it in my TBR cart, but it is hardcover, and nothing wrong with reading a hardcover. But I think if I'm gonna read that one soon, or if I get to it before these, or if I'm just really wanting something to read on my Kindle, I do have the ebook on my Libby, so I can just cancel my suspension or whatever it's called now and borrow that. So that's probably gonna be the plan for my trip. So I'm gonna bring these two and then The Wedding People on my Kindle. I think to finish out this reading vlog, I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea. I'm going to finish this book and then I'll take a break, probably make dinner for Ryan and I. That's like the third time that's happened to me today. That bookmark doesn't stay very well. Luckily I know what page I'm on. After I make dinner, and after we eat dinner, my husband and I want to have a movie night, and so we're probably gonna need to start that within the next couple of hours. But I do want to do my nails, so I don't know if I'm going to do my nails and listen to the Inheritance Games. We'll see. I'm gonna stop stalling. I'm gonna go and make myself tea and finish this up. I'm excited because I want this to be over with. Not that it's bad, it's just not amazing. There's not really a plot. I feel like I look like a raccoon with the way that my mascara looks, but like I said, it's been a long day. I made myself a warm chai latte, and I'm finally going to read the last 20 pages of this book. I don't know how I feel about that. If you're really into chef romances, a big part of the plot is that this guy's a chef. Like, and he will go into detail of what he's making, which like I liked a little bit of that in The 7-Year Slip. I feel like it was a nice touch, but this is like too much, you know? Why? Something about when everyone gets their happy ending and it's like too easy. Why do I cringe? Like, what's wrong with me? Someone please diagnose me. Why do I also hate when epilogues are just... Do I just maybe not like epilogues? Because I also low-key kind of hate when epilogues are just the MMC proposing to the FMC. I think it's because my favorite part of a romance is the chase, the tension. And so once we get to the point where that doesn't exist anymore, like they're a couple, I'm like out, I'm checked out. Finished it. Hi guys, I checked in with you guys a few days ago. Today is Monday, and I think I told you that I was gonna do my nails. My plans got a little derailed, so I wanted to do one last bookish thing in this video to end it out. Right now I am just doing some skincare because I just got out of the shower. I don't really want to wear makeup today, so I just really want to at least focus on putting my skincare on. I curled my hair yesterday and it's a little nuts right now, but I don't want to brush it out because I feel like it just gets like even more flat. So I literally just kind of, I put a little bit of dry shampoo in just because I did a workout this morning. It was looking a little rough, but anyways, I'm gonna do my skincare, but while I do my skincare, I'm gonna talk about what is going on and why I didn't film me doing my nails. I did do my nails, but I didn't listen to my audiobook because for some reason I get a notification from Spotify that I'm out of listening hours. And the book that I'm currently listening to is The Inheritance Games. And tell me why the Libby hold is 5 weeks. 5 weeks. I'm trying to finish that book like yesterday. So that was really frustrating and I feel like it derailed my plans. Oh, also, I didn't update you guys. Okay, so my plan was to finish The Inheritance Games this past weekend since today's Monday. I was planning to finish it Saturday and Sunday and I've been moving through it pretty fast. I just feel like I've been reading it at a pretty quick speed and I knew that I was going to be doing some activities like my nails, or I could do other bookish activities where I could listen to an audiobook and get a lot done that way. However, on Saturday, I ended up spending 7 hours in the ER with my grandma. She is okay. She's actually coming home today, but she did end up needing to be admitted. And so that whole time I was just spending time with her. So that was my Saturday. I came home and had dinner. Ryan and I watched a movie and called it a night, basically. And then yesterday was a Sunday, and Sundays are just typically pretty busy, especially in the mornings for me. At this point also, I didn't know that my Spotify hours were gone. So I was like, you know what, there's always tomorrow. Like, I can just do this tomorrow. Well, the problem with that is that on Sunday, because it's Sunday, I had church. And I was also leading worship this particular weekend. If you didn't know, if I haven't mentioned, I do lead worship at my church. I'm on a rotation, so it's not every Sunday, but it is a few Sundays out of the month. And if I'm not leading, I might just be like doing backup vocals or playing keys. And so that's part of the routine, but also this Sunday was our first Sunday back in the building. So my church does outdoor services for the summer, and we actually extended it through the first week of October just because it was warm enough outside. And also our church is growing, and so we kind of don't really fit in the building anymore. And so we have enough space outside to have one service outside, but when we go back in the building, we have to have 2 and potentially 3 in the near future. And so this was our first indoor service, which means there's 2 services. And so I did lead worship at both services, and that took up a lot of my morning, obviously. And then I went out to lunch with my parents and my siblings and my family, basically. Ryan ended up staying home because he had already eaten by the time I told him we were going out to eat. We did that. And then when I got home, I was just like so tired, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasted a lot of time, but also because I realized I got that notification from Spotify that I was out of hours, and it kind of derailed my plans because I was gonna show you guys me doing my nails and me listening to my audiobook at the same time, because obviously that's a bookish activity. So I ended up just watching YouTube while I did my nails, and then I was like, well, I don't even remember what I told them I was going to end out the video with. And I wasn't going to go to the library. However, it is a Monday and my library is open again. So I am gonna go to the library today because I really need to return my book. Why not just browse around and see what new releases there are, or if there's anything that could like fulfill a prompt. I'm not sure. I should look at my buzzword reading challenge list that I have and see what prompts I have left. The year is coming to a close very quickly. Obviously it's October, but I am a little bit behind on prompts. So I'm gonna take a look and see if I'm missing anything, and maybe there's something that I can pick up, or maybe there's something that catches my eye, but I would rather listen to it on audio. Maybe there's a book that I will find organically, but that I'll choose to read or listen to instead, because I kind of am gonna need a new audiobook soon. And I'm at the point in the year, I feel like if you do the buzzword reading challenge and you're not very good at it, you're not very consistent with it, then you'll probably relate. I know Bestie Ryan, not to call her out, but I know she relates. I'm at the point in the year where I'm like, I don't care if I read it in the month anymore, I just have to like read it. It just has to fit the prompt. So maybe I'll listen to November or December's book. Let's see before I go while I'm here. Also, the audio is probably a little echoey because I am in my bathroom. I apologize. Kind of forgot about that, but let's see since we're already here. October, ooh. Okay, wait. Okay, if my library has The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, I'm gonna take a look at that, possibly getting that. Or if it has They Both Die at the End, those are 2 options. For November, cover and title prompt, I already have a book. But for December, I need alliteration. I feel like it's a little too early to look into December, but I'm not against looking at November. But I already do own a physical book for both of the prompts. I'm actually gonna double dip. I'm also double dipping for October, which is good because I'm behind for September. I just finished August books. That's the book that I need to return. So if they have The Dead Romantics or They Both Die at the End, I might consider checking those out or looking at Libby. I don't know, maybe I should wait until I get back. I'm just gonna browse, but those are the 2 that are on my radar. So let's go to the library. Okay guys, I don't know if it's because my audiobook hours reset. You know what? I think they reset on the 6th, and today is the 6th, or maybe the 5th. I think my audiobook hours reset, or I don't know what's going on, but it's letting me listen to my audiobook on Spotify. So I'm gonna listen to that on my way. I'm gonna go explore the library, return my book, and also I need to get gas. I'm just a girl. You guys, I am back home. Unfortunately, I did not find either of the books that I was looking for. However, it's okay because I am currently in the middle of some books that I just should be finishing first. For example, I'm almost halfway through the Inheritance Games, and I would like to finish that before I start Onyx Storm, and then finish this in a week. And then I would like to catch up on my Buzzword Reading Challenge books. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't find anything at the library, because I just have some books that I already have in other ways, whether it's my physical TBR, whether I have it on Libby. So I'm gonna pause on borrowing books from the library. But I'm not sure what the library portion of this video looked like. I tried to get as much footage as I can. I showed you guys a lot of books that this piece of hair is bothering me. I showed you guys a lot of books that I was interested in. They had a lot of fall themed books as well put out that I wasn't necessarily interested in, but I just wanted to show you because they were like fall vibes, spooky October vibes. The section that I usually get like the most footage in and that I find the most book recs, there is like a little like reading chair nook type of area, and there was someone reading there, and so I didn't obviously want to just whip out my camera and like vlog, so I didn't get as much footage really at the library that I wanted to. I like to show you guys the books that I'm interested in, and I didn't really show very many from that section at all, but a couple books were added to my Goodreads, so maybe one day I will get to those. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for September's Doing Book Stuff video. I'm already looking forward to October's because I can basically start filming that as well. I think I'm gonna wait until I get back from my trip, just because I leave in a week and there's so much I need to do until then. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like me, then subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. I'd love to have you around. And if you haven't already commented at any point in the video, please do. I love interacting with all of the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!